The Ministry of Finance has this long-term view in terms of setting up the fund of funds in order to facilitate the investment channeling in Bulgaria related also to the EU funds. There were already funds which existed in Bulgaria, but the creation of the fund of funds facilitated the consolidation of all the know-how and all the efforts in terms of providing the right instruments to the right beneficiaries. The fund was established in 2014 and it currently manages around 550 million euro of shared funds throughout 13 financial instruments which are financed via 5 European funds. The mission of the fund is basically to ensure the efficient use of the financial resources of the European Union and at the same time to have a really great impact not only on the value-added creation in the Bulgarian and European economy, but also to improve the everyday quality of life of the people in different towns and regions in Bulgaria. We also try to attract additional private funds which have the multiplicator effect on the overall economy. The purpose of creating the funds of funds was basically to have national center of excellence or a competence hub which supports the managing authorities in channeling the funds more efficiently and using financial instruments in the ecosystem in Bulgaria.
We have a broad portfolio of products that are basically devoted to regional development, innovation and competitiveness, rural development, maritime and fisheries, and environment. What we do is that we actually do the financial engineering, the structuring, and then bringing the products to the market. And in all those processes, we try to take the most possible flexibility, combining compliance and also meeting market needs. The EIB advisory services played a crucial role in setting up the company, both in terms of organizational structure and processes, so that at the beginning we had a working environment able to meet the complex requirements for management and implementation of financial instruments. Well, helping managing authorities achieve their goals is actually the central task that our company has to accomplish. What we do is that we implement milestones and other types of key performance indicators in our operational agreements with the financial intermediaries, and we have also very well-structured monitoring processes, and in this way we make sure that the schedule and all the goals that the managing authorities have implemented in the financial agreements with us will be met also in the real implementation of the instruments. I believe it was great that the time was taken by the government and the Ministry of Finance to set up the fund, because centralizing and creating this center of competencies about the management of financial instruments is the only way that we can today see projects like Nasecomo and another type of projects like the urban development projects like the library in Burgas, where these projects are exactly the result of complex financial instruments that could be structured only when we have a national level strong team with a centralized expertise for the management of financial instruments.
I believe the main success factor for those two projects is the perfect collaboration between different stakeholders, such as the managing authority, the FMFIB as a fund of funds, the financial intermediaries, the final recipients, etc. My advice to the fellow financial instruments practitioners would be, first of all, to avoid a very complex structure in terms of design of the financial instrument, so as to allow final recipients to really get an easy access to those funds. I would also recommend for the financial instruments to utilize all the opportunities which the new CPR is providing. For example, the combination of grant and financial instrument in only one simple operation, which would substantially reduce the administrative burden for the final recipients. And lastly, I would also recommend a more flexible approach while designing the financial instruments in terms of all the state aid regimes applicable, in terms of possibility for the transfer of funds between a priority access and financial products. It is true, financial instruments are based on ex-ante assessments, but they're not able to forecast all the events which might happen, like for example, the pandemic. So we think that certain degree of flexibility is crucial for the successful implementation of the financial instruments.